Hi, I'm Chef Manny and welcome to the second season of Dishin It Up. Today we have 5 lovely meals that we're going to prepare for back to school for our kids. So let's cook. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get our oatmeal on, and we have our water boiling and just a little pinch of salt. So we're going to put a little pinch of salt in that water. One thing with seasoning the pot now, I know a lot of times persons like to go ahead and shake salt out of the box. That's a no-no. We're going to use our hands and we're going to measure the salt each time as we go so that we make sure we building up a good flavor with the seasoning. All right, so we're going to put that in there. We're going to drop two cinnamon sticks, and then we're going to also add the milk. So we're just going to pour the milk right in there. All right, so this pot right here is going to be for our oatmeal, and our next pot is going to be for our grits. So you know, in the morning time we got to give the students the grits, so we're just going to put some butter in there. So let's get some butter going on. Once again, we're going to add our salt. Put our salt in there. You know, salt is a good seasoning. It also brings out the flavor. And I know sometimes persons are health conscious and they're going to use salt in moderation. All right, so that's also very important. So we're just going to turn this up a little bit. All right, turn our stove up. So we have our grits, some nice Long Island grits, all right? Straight from my mother's kitchen. So we got our grits, and then we got our oatmeal, all right? So like I said, in the morning time, you know, sometimes parents have a lot of difficulty not knowing what to cook. So it's always good to have a good menu written out, and then you'll be able to go through it each day from Monday to Friday. So take your time, develop the menu, and then make sure you execute each one. All right, so you gotta, let's start with the oatmeal first. So I just get the milk with the cinnamon sticks. Just let the cinnamon stick infuse that water, and so that we have a good flavor going on. So we're just gonna put our oatmeal in, a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. On my grits. So we're just gonna put some grits in there. So as you see, we're working 2 pots at one time. That's important. You don't wanna, you know, when you go into the kitchen, you don't wanna spend much time. You wanna be able to know what you're doing and be able to execute things just as planned. Because sometime in the morning, you don't really have much time and you wanna really give the kids a nutritious breakfast, but you don't want to spend much time. All right, so while the grits is boiling, while the oatmeal is on, let's go ahead and make the tuna for the grits. All right, so we just get some nice tuna fish, put that in the bowl. We got our herbs that we chopped up. We got peppers. You know, sometimes if your kids don't like pepper, then you don't need to put it in your tuna fish. So it's always good to find out what your kids love to eat, and then go ahead and add those things in there. All right, so I think the tuna salad is a good way to really add some vegetables so that your kids can, you know, get that vegetables requirement for that day. All right, so we got some peppers, we got some onions. We're gonna put that in there. We're just gonna put a little mayo in there. We got our bowl nice and steady on the table on our cutting board. Double check our pot. All right, double check our pot. We're looking good. Oatmeal looking good. Our grits is almost there. One thing with yellow grits, now one time ago, as I recall, we always used to eat white grits, but I think as of late, everybody has been eating yellow grits because it has a really good flavor, especially when you put a really good amount of, not salt, but have the right balance of salt. You'll find that, you know, the yellow grits are really, really, really good. All right, so we're almost there. So let's get our lemon in there. All right, so all right, we're looking good, looking good. So one more stir on our oatmeal. Oatmeal doesn't take long, so like five minutes the most, the oatmeal should be ready. All right. Let's taste our grits. So when you're in culinary, that's how we teach students how to taste. They always use 2 spoons. All right, good. Just a little more salt, and I think we're good. Just put down a nice spoon of grits in there. Then we got a tuna fish. All right, so give the plate a little wipe. All right, sometimes kids, they like lemon as well, so we just put a little piece of lemon on there for them. And of course, they want a little piece of butter. The butter going there. Give the plate a wipe. All right, so that's one meal. So just say we served it on Monday, on Tuesday, we can give the kids oatmeal on Tuesday. All right, so let's get a nice oatmeal off the fire. We're just gonna put a nice serving of oatmeal into a bowl. Like we cooked it, we had that nice cinnamon sticks in there. I add some coconut oil, making sure we give the kids a good serving of fruits in the morning. So just to do a little recap, we have a nice tuna fish and grits, right, with a little piece of lemon. So what we did was the basic yellow grits that we cook a really nice, make a nice tuna salad, and we add a lot of vegetables in there for the kids. Also, we have our oatmeal. You also need your cinnamon sticks, milk, and you're also going to season it with a little coconut oil, all right? So make sure you get a good flavor going on there for the kids, all right? So we'll be right back after these messages.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. So hope you had a good little break, get some coffee, some tea. So let's get back at it, all right? So during our first segment, what we did was we did 2 things at one time. So we want to really get you all excited. And so now we're going to slow down the pace so you really can learn and see what we're doing today, all right? So that's the adjustment we made. So we're going to make some quiche on our second segment. We're just going to put some oil in the pot. Quiche is an egg dish. It's something like if you want to make an omelet, but what we're going to do, we're going to bake it like a custard, all right? So we're going to make it in a muffin pan. So I'm going to add some spinach. I'm also going to add some red onions, right? And then I'm going to add some sweet pepper, all right? So let's start out with our sweet pepper. Get a sweet pepper in the pan. Going to add some onions. All right, so we're just gonna let that saute. All right, while that's sauteing, we're gonna season lightly with a little black pepper. We're gonna add some salt. In culinary, you always try to season as you go. So every step along the way, you want to build that flavor and make sure everything has a nice flavor profile going. All right, so we're just gonna add just a little bit of garlic, just for the flavor. Even though we're cooking for kids, we still want it to taste, this food to taste good, all right? So there's no need for the kid to say, "Mommy, that didn't taste good," all right? So we wanna make sure we cook a really delicious meal for our kids, all right? So we're just gonna add some spinach in there. So if you see what we got going on, we're just wilting these vegetables, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna bring out all that flavor. So when we add this to our egg base, this is gonna really be soft already, and all those flavors are gonna be imparted into the eggs. All right, so that's what we're doing. All right, so we're looking good. Gonna whisk those around. So whisking is a technique in culinary that we learned, and also what it does is strengthen the egg. So by whisking, what we're doing now, we're strengthening the protein in the eggs. So once we bake this is actually going to stay together like a cake or like a custard. All right. So this also we're going to add just a little bit of seasoning, just a little bit. Put a little black pepper, some salt. The kids are gonna love this, and this is something that you can make in your home, and you can also have this make a day before or even a couple days before, and you can put it in in the refrigerator, and in the morning time you can just take them and pop them in the microwave, and they're really good to go. All right. So this is nothing you gotta get up and make the day off. You can make this very in advance, and you can be able to add this in the microwave for the kids. So we're just gonna add some cheese to this. Because you know the kids, they love cheese, right? So just mix that around. So that's our base. Now we're gonna let this cool slightly, and then we're gonna add this to our egg mixture. Just gonna stir this around until this cool. All right, we're looking good. So this is our quiche. It's spinach and cheese. So like I said, this is a good way also if you want to get the kids to eat vegetables. So you're gonna make sure take all of those vegetables and hide those in your eggs. All right, so we're gonna get our palm spray. We're gonna spray it really, really good. And then we're gonna fill our muffin cups. Fill our muffin cups with our quiche batter. All right. So just get a good ladle full. Make sure you clean off the edges, and then just pour them right in there. All right, just like that. Clean off the edges so the ladle so it doesn't drip on your board, and then you put them right in there. And these can be baked in the oven for 300 degrees. All right. And once they are baked, you can bake these well in advance, and these can be heat up in the microwave and be served for the next day. All right, so we get our lovely quiche out the oven. So if you see, they're really nice and not over baked. You want to really bake them, like I say, 300 degrees, and you want to just bake them till they're completely firm. All right. So we're just going to turn them over. Make sure we hit our pan good to get them all come out. All right, so they're all out. So what I'm going to do is just serve it right in this little frying pan for the presentation. All right, so we put 2 quiche in there. Put down give them a little bacon. Mix up the breakfast in the morning. Like I said, you don't want to. We already start out with the tuna fish. And we give them oatmeal the next day. So we're now going to give them a little bacon, right? And just a little extra orange on the side, all right? So we get 2 pieces of orange. All right, so that's our quiche presentation. Nice and simple. Nice little presentation for the kid, all right? All right, so for our quiche, what we did was we made a custard, and we add to the custard, we add spinach, we add onions, we add peppers, and we whisked it all together. We season it with a little salt and pepper. We bake them in an oven at 300 degrees. Once they are baked, we let them cool, and we turn them out, and we serve them with bacon, and we have some fresh oranges and fresh berries. All right, so we'll see you after the break.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
Welcome back. And did you know eating breakfast also helps with weight maintenance? So breakfast is very important. So now we're going to move into our lunch segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to pack some variety of lunch boxes. And just to give you a little idea so you can have some options to use during this busy period of school, all right? So the first one we're going to make, we're just going to make some peanut butter rolls with bananas. So we're just going to spread some of that down. Very simple to make. Once you already made them, you can go ahead and grill them. So we take our banana, put right in there like that. These are good little snacks for the nice healthy sandwiches, all right? So that's one. So we get another one. Nice little healthy sandwich for the kids will love this, all right? So we get that. Like I said, once you already roll them, you want to go ahead and place them down in a nice skillet. Make sure they're nice and tight, all right? This one can just be peanut butter by itself, all right? So we get that. So we're gonna put some watermelon in each one. Just nice fruits, whatever fruits you can find. The best way to do it is whatever fruits you think your kids love, that's the ones that you wanna buy for them, all right? So just make sure you get the fruits that they love, because it doesn't make sense putting fruits and they don't like it. So put the fruits that you know your kids love. That's the one you wanna get, all right? So some watermelon. So we're gonna go ahead and put some berries in there. Put some berries in each one. So like I say, whatever fruits your kids love, that's the one you buy. So put some more raspberries, some blackberries in there. All right, so we're looking good. All right, put the extra on the side. Let's do a little wipe on our board, and let's start making the sandwiches. The first one I'm gonna make is something that I grew up off, that my mommy used to give me for lunch. It's called a slam bam. So this is a traditional sandwich, right? And it made from fresh island bread, and it's cut thick, right? Because your mommy wants to make sure you have a good portion for lunch, all right? She don't give you two, she give you one big sandwich, all right? So slam bam. So I could remember in school, this was my favorite lunch. This was my favorite lunch. Put a little mustard. Put a little mustard. And of course, growing up on the island, you don't have no school bags, so this go into a brown paper bag. So nice big thick piece of sandwich. So put on that bologna sausage. All right, 2 pieces of cheese like that, and the bread, and then that goes in the paper bag. No foil wrap. You don't need no foil wrap. So that's your lunch. All right. Slam bam. All right. So that's one. So let's clean on our board. Let's make another one. Just gonna make a basic ham and cheese. Light on the mayo, because we don't want the bread to be too soggy during lunchtime. So just light on the mayo. Don't have to be heavy. Just light on the mayo. So we're gonna put a slice of ham. A slice of ham. All right, so just fold it over like so. Go ahead and make sure you trim off all the edges. Trim off all the edges like that. And just cut it into 3, all right? Cut it into 3 nice portion size. Stand them up. Make sure they're neat. Place right in the lunch box like that. So we got ham and cheese. Let's make one vegetarian. We're just gonna put down bread. Put down some cream cheese on the bread. On both sides. One will be for the filling and one will be for the top. All right, so then we're gonna layer some cucumber in the middle. Layer some cucumber like that. We're gonna close it over on that side. Last but not least, we're gonna put some on the top. These are just healthy options that you can give your children in the morning time. And obviously some for lunch. So place that like that. We're gonna go ahead and same thing when we did the first one. Clean our knife, clean our board. Then we're gonna go ahead and trim. Trim the sandwich. If you want to, you can give them a little variety. You know, I think variety is good. So let's do it like that. Let's give them a little variety. One there, one of that, and then we'll put one in this one, all right? So we give them a little variety. One in that, all right? So we get the sandwiches. Now let's give them some nuts. Let's give them a little nuts on the side. Of course, if you're packing lunches and then you have a space for yogurt, you can also put a nice yogurt in there. So the lunch is really nice and healthy. So put a little, get rid of all the nuts. All right. You just want to give them a little snacks. And then of course you got to give them some vegetables. All right, so just to do a little recap, what we did was we packed some really nice healthy lunch options for the children to take to school after having a good healthy breakfast. So you want to keep that trend going. And so we have some yogurt. We made some cucumber sandwiches. We give them some ham and cheese, traditional. And we give them some peanut butter along with some banana in the center. Also, we want to make sure we have a good variety of fruits as well as vegetables so that they can get their nutritional balance, all right? So that's important. You don't want to just give them lunch, and then you want to make sure they have a good, healthy lunch, all right? And so we'll be back right after the break. Welcome back. So just let's do a little recap of what we did today. Like I said, the purpose of this whole show was we want to give you a really good idea of doing some healthy options for breakfast, as well as some quick healthy lunch boxes. All right, so just to start our recap, this was our quiche dish that we did with bacon. Like I said, you can make these in advance, and these can be placed in the fridge, and when you're ready, you can just heat them up. You can't go wrong with some traditional tuna and grits. It's really nutritious. Kids will love it, and this can also be a part of your menu mix for that whole week. Of course, this is another healthy option, oatmeal with some fresh berries. Once you add all the flavors and all those nice spices, kids will definitely love it, all right? So some of our lunch options, what we did, we just made a few finger sandwiches. We started with the ham and cheese, a little vegetarian option with the cucumber, and then we add the banana and the peanut butter. And on the side for the garnishes, things that the children can snack on, we have the nuts, and then of course we need fruits for the balance, and then also the fresh vegetables. And once again, this is something that I've grown up on. Slam Bam is a traditional breakfast sandwich that can also be for lunch, but this is something that a lot of persons can familiar with, and this is what we used to take for lunch back on the island. You know, Slam Bam, can't go wrong. It's made from fresh island bread, and it has on it bologna sausage and cheese with a little mayo, all right? And it's served in a paper bag. Just like to thank my sponsors, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Jamaica Bahamas Imports, and Simplify Lending. We'll see you next time on Dishin It Up with Chef Emmanuel.